So this should be easy for many of you, but I'm going to show you a quick way of solving it, okay? Now, this way is very important. So let's think about it this way. You are given this equation, okay? This is an important one. 1 kilogram is equal to 2.2 pounds, right? 1 kilogram is equal to 2.2 pounds. And you're asked, this person is 150 pounds, okay? 150 pounds, right? And now all you got to do, now, by the way, this is called a conversion problem, okay? You're converting one unit to the other. How do you convert it, guys? I'm going to give you the simplest way. Pretty much everybody who's looked at this, they're so happy they looked at this, okay? So this is how you do it. 150 pounds, you got to convert it. You got to convert, like converting gold to silver, silver to gold, something like that, okay? 150 pounds, you got to convert it to kilograms, right? So this is your initial amount. This is your final amount, right? So now what you got to do here is 150 pounds, you're going to draw a line and you're going to write 1 here. Okay, this is going to be important for harder problems. So this is, even though it's easy, just pay attention here. It's going to simplify harder problems for you. 150 pounds over 1, right? Now, what you got to do is just be careful. You have to look for this equation here, right? You want to look at this pounds here and just write down pounds in the bottom here, and then 2.2 pounds over here, right? You have pounds here. So search in this equation where you got pounds here and just write down 2.2 here. Okay. Now, because you got to multiply and divide by the same number, right? This guy here is in the denominator, but this is also equal to 1 kilogram. So all you're going to write down is 1 kilogram here, right? Just remember what we've done here. We started with this 150 pounds, right? Yes, Zinur, you can do a lot of things, but this way is gonna help you when the problems become way harder. But you're right. But this way, just think about it this way. 1 pound is over here. You're gonna write it down. You're gonna figure out this is a pound. Then look for this equation. Then you're gonna get pounds over here. Then you write down 2.2, and then you write down 1. Okay, and then what happens? This cancels out, and then you're left with 150 times 1 over 1.1 times 2.2 kilograms, right? This kilogram automatically appeared over here, and there you go. And then you can simplify it. Of course, I know many of you, pretty much all of you know this method, right? You're just gonna say, hey, Ash, why are you showing me this method? It's gonna be important. I'm gonna tell you why it's gonna be important, okay? But before that, yes, now you're gonna understand why I'm going this roundabout way of doing things, okay? And many of you probably can solve this next problem the same way. All right, many of you can solve this next problem the same way, but let's try to solve it the way I've mentioned it to you, okay? So let's try it this way. This is a 1-hour session, so it's almost getting done. So we've got a few problems, and then maybe we can review real quick what we did, and then we'll close the session, all right? So this batch has been really good. So let's think about this problem here. So think about this problem. What are you going to do? Okay, so you've got yards, right? So you want to convert. So read the problem carefully and think about it, but it's going to be right over here like this. 2,000 yards, right, has to be converted to inches. Okay, 2,000 yards is to be converted to inches. So what are you going to do? You're going to write down 2,000 yards, right? Then you put a line at the bottom and you do 1, okay? And for those who finish this problem, here's a challenge problem for you, okay? So hang with me for a minute. I'm gonna give you a challenge problem here. So let's see how many of you can solve this problem. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm telling you, you need to understand this type of a method, okay? Well done, Meg, well done, Anuj. Okay, so all of you who've solved that problem, try to look at this, try this harder problem, but the others should focus with me over here, okay? Because if you're having difficulty, then this method is gonna be super helpful, okay? So remember, our goal is to convert 2,000 yards to 1 inch, right? So let's look at this over here. This is the harder problem, okay? So this problem, try to solve this. Those who have already solved it, the first one, try to solve this problem, okay? But look at this problem now, okay? So 2,000 yards over 1, right? And now look over here, wherever you see yards. So you see yards over here, right? Which is 3 feet. So all you're gonna do is you're gonna write down yards over here, right? And look at this 1 yard, right? And you put 3 feet here, okay? 3 feet, right? Because 1 yard is 3 feet, right? And you're multiplying and dividing. Or remember, when you multiply and divide, you got to multiply and divide it by the same number, okay? Or you can't see it. Can you see it now? Let me zoom it in. Can you see it now? Just let me know. Okay, perfect, perfect, great. So try it. All right. So the others, don't get distracted. Try. Let's look at this problem over here. Okay. So now that you've got this, remember what you've done is your goal is to convert yard to inches. But before that, let's see what yard do we have in this equation. So 1 yard is 3 feet, right? So 3 feet is over here. Now all you're going to do is this is yards and this is yards. So gone. This yards is gone, and you got feet now, right? Now you look at this equation and you can pretty much cancel this out. Now look at this equation, right? Now again, to convert the feet to inches, what you got to do is you got to put the feet here, right? You want to cancel this, but where's the feet? Feet is right over here. 1 feet is 12 inches. Okay, 1 feet is 12 inches, guys. So what does that mean? Cancel the feet out, and you're left with inches. And that's what they're asking for, right? So the SAT problems are just kind of letting you one after the other. You just got to keep solving them, okay? So all you got to do is you cancel the feet, and you're left with inches. And look, all the units are gone. You converted the yards to inches. So now let's try to think about this. 2,000 over 1 times 3 over 1 times 12 over 1. Well done. Yes. So now this one is going to be 3 times 12. So you can use this. You can do the calculation. Is going to be 72,000. So very good. So many of you have been able to solve this. Now I'm going to give you an exact same problem here so that you can, let's see if you can solve it. Okay. So let me get rid of this. Let me get rid of this guy and this, and let's see if you can solve this other problem. Okay. So, and that's what, and so, yep, try the harder problem, guys, who were able to solve the easy ones. But now we are going to do, let's see. Okay. So let's try something like this. Okay, and in the practice sessions that I'm going to do, there are going to be more problems because these are exactly the problems you need. You don't need to do any harder problems if you want to improve your score. If you're above 700, if you're already getting above 700, guys, there's another session we run, but this is for people who already just want to get to 700. Okay, you don't need to work very hard on this. Just memorize, almost memorize these methods. Okay, try this problem now. Let's see how many of you can get this. So remember, it's 3,000 yards. You want to convert it to inches. Okay, so what do? 3,000 yards, you're going to convert it to inches, right? So you're going to multiply this over here, and what's the next step? You're going to put yards here, and then look at the equation here, and I'm waiting for you guys to give me the answer. Okay, so work on it. I'm waiting for you. Meanwhile, I'll look at this problem here. Well done. So we're looking at this problem here, guys. Okay, so what's going on here? He wants, right over here, he wants to spend a total of $D for booklets, right? So that's why I was saying $D goes to booklets, right? You want to convert this unit to booklets. So how do you do it? Let's write down the equations first. Okay, let's write them down real quick. So let me get rid of this real quick. Yes, people are answering the easier part, this question. Well done. Try it, the others. Meanwhile, I'm explaining this part. So you've got P pages per booklet, right? So P pages, right? P pages is equal to 1 booklet, right? Then you got 5 cents, 5 pages is equal to C cents. 5 pages right, is equal to C cents, right? So instead of C cents, right, and C cents, sorry, and then you also know that 100 cents, guys, is equal to $1, okay? Is equal to $1. So now, remember, all you got to do is very simply, you write the dollars here, divided by 1, sorry, divided by 1. Now you multiply it by something, right? What is that something? You're just going to write down dollar here and look at what you got here. Is there any dollar here? Yes, there's a dollar here, right? So I'm just going to take $1 here, this right-hand side, put it here. Left-hand side, I'm going to put it here. Okay, I'm going to put cents here. Okay, so the dollar is gone with the dollar, right? Now you got cents remaining here, right? So how do you do cents? Look at, and remember, this equation is gone. So the only equation here that has cents is this guy, right? So you're going to put in cents below here and look for this equation. Okay, so there's C cents here, and then 5 pages over here, right? So be careful now, almost there. So this is cents and cents is gone, right? And now pages, right? So this equation is gone, and then you got this equation here. So P pages is 1 booklet. So it's going to be pages in the bottom. So P pages and 1 booklet, okay? And so pages and pages cancels out, and look, you've got booklet here. So you got D times 100. And this is a hard problem, guys. You don't have to understand this. Only if you want anything above 700 needed. So, and C times P, okay? So it's going to be 100 times 5, which is 500, D times 1, which is just D, over CP, okay? So that's the reason why I was telling you this kind of a method is super important. If you missed it, look at it again, because you might get a problem and you can solve pretty much any problem using this kind of a method. Otherwise, it's super confusing. This method is so simple. Okay, coming back over here. So 3,000 yards over this. So you got yards here. So you're going to write down 1 and 3 feet. Then this yard and this yard cancels out, right? And now you got feet over here, right? So now you can also do feet to feet. So you got feet to 12 inches. So you're going to write down 12 inches. So this and this is gone. And now we've got inches here. So now you're going to write 3,000 times 3 times 12, right? And that's your answer. So remember, all of these ideas are important. Well done, Anuj. So all of these ideas are important. Now let me just, for 2 minutes, tell you. So what's going to happen next is email me if you want to continue the sessions with me, because remember, you need to do practice with me. Without me, if you read a book, you are probably gonna you're gonna lose interest, get disinterested in maybe an hour or two. Here we do 20 hours, and that's all you need to get a very strong boost in your score. And more importantly, I'm showing you the problems that are coming again and again and again on the SAT, okay? So that's important. Plus, I'm gonna give you a cheat sheet. So let me show you how the cheat sheet looks like, guys. And there are a variety of cheat sheets that I've got, but take a look at this cheat sheet, okay? So if you're interested in this particular type of cheat sheet, right, we're gonna look at all of these problems. I'm gonna show you, we've solved all of these. Some of you have seen this section, right? Many of you have seen the percentage section. All of these are super easy shortcuts to how you should be solving these problems, okay? So this is a cheat sheet that I've got here, right? So get in touch with me if you're interested in these sessions, right? Hundreds and hundreds of students over years, I've been teaching since 2008, have improved their score, okay? So here's how the session goes. So the first day, we are gonna do a lesson, right? Like how you've done. Then the next day, we're gonna solve practice problems, and you're gonna get back to me. You're gonna take a test. You're gonna submit your answers, right? And you're gonna receive feedback from me on the problems that you're getting wrong. So this way, you know what you're doing wrong, okay? And now that's what repeats. And these are the most important topics. Remember, we did rates, ratios. Then we're gonna cover linear equations. Then we're gonna do system of equations, polynomials, and these, right? So remember, these are the only topics you know, and these are 20 days. Each is 1 hour, right? So it's right in time over here. Just practice the problems, and then you're ready to take the practice test, okay? I've also got the videos for the practice test. So I can give you the entire 1 hour video for the practice test if you join my session, all right? So that's it. Let's quickly review what we did, guys. let's look at some of the problems, and I'm going to explain to you. I know it's more than an hour here, but that's why I'm here to help you. Remember, the first thing that you did was over here where you looked at the circle and you calculated. So somebody's asking the pricing for the course. The entire course is for $95, okay? It's been discounted. The original cost was $395. It's been discounted due to COVID-19. Only $95 for 20 hours, okay? And those of you who already have this course, thanks for your patience, because I do this. I have to. I've got to. This is how I earn my living, right? So I teach you, and if you appreciate it, you can join the session. But now let's review real quick what we've done. Let's look at these problems real quick. Remember this problem here, okay? Let me zoom in just a little bit, and thanks for your patience again. Let's wrap this up real quick. Remember this problem here, right? A circle has 5 times the radius of circle B, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the radius of circle B to be 1, right? If you have a circle radius to be 1, then this circle's radius is gonna be 5. Right? And then all you got to do is use the formula pi times 1 squared, and this is going to be pi times 5 squared, which is 25. So that's how you're going to calculate the ratio, okay? Now, the other one, the same deal over here, okay? Now, what else did we do here? Remember, we had that formula m1, m2 over r squared. That's another important thing. And then this was very easy for many of you, the cross multiplication idea, 60 miles, 1 hour, then X miles, how many hours, right? 4 hours, right? And then you do the cross multiplication and you get your answer, right? So that's important. Then this one was a harder problem. And then eventually we did this problem where you take the difference. So the time is just going to be, in this case, it's of course 9 hours. And then the amount of water that's dropped is 45. So remember, rate is equal to the gallons, the change in the water over the change in time. So that's basically everything is related to time here, right? Sometimes it's distance, sometimes it's water, right? And then this was a very important problem. Most of you got it, but remember, this is an important one. And then what we did, guys, is we did the exact same problem. We did the exact same problem with A, B, and C. And I noticed many of you were having difficulty. Why are you having difficulty with this? All right, that's because you haven't practiced it. That is why I'm saying you need to do the practice sessions with me. You just come in here, pay attention. This 10 is exactly the same as this A, right? It's the exact same problem. I'm just gonna actually put this problem right over here for you. Okay, it's the exact same problem, guys. So I don't know why many of you had difficulty. It's probably because, look, it's the A and 10, is the B and 2, is the C and 8,000. That is why you need to work on the algebra section, which is coming in the next few days, okay? So hang in there, we're gonna do this. And then the unit conversion, that's a super easy method. Pretty much any problem which has units in it can be converted using the method I told you. And that's easily 50 points added to your score, okay? So take it easy, watch this problem again and again, solve them. Email me if you need the practice problems, but I'm telling you, solving this by yourself, you're going to reach only so far. You need to be together, see other people solve it. That's how the energy grows, and that's how your brain is going to understand and get confident, then you can solve it, okay? So let's think about it. Ask me any questions if you have. Okay, great. So if you have any questions, email me.